Hi everyone, my name's Alison and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator, and today I'm going to show you how to make this card, and this was made using the new Tasteful Touches stamp set, which has come out in the new catalogue, which was launched yesterday, the 3rd of June. And this card was made using this beautiful flower here, and also the sprig or the foliage just there. And we've made this card using the masking technique, but two different ways. So what I'll do, well, let's show you how I made the card. So you're first of all going to want a piece of Whisper White cardstock, and this measures 3 5/8 by 5 1/4. And you're also going to want a piece of copy paper or thin paper that's the same size. And for this, because this is going to go over the Whisper White, and we're going to cut the square in the centre, which is what gives us this piece here. So for that I'm using the Stitch Shapes dies, and it's these square ones, and it's the second size down. So let's just move that out of the way. Bring the big shot in. And by doing this the same size as the piece you're going to be working on, you know that wherever you put your die to cut it, you know that's where it's going to be on the card. So just position it where you'd like it. Getting it roughly straight and in the middle. And when you're happy, you can just run that through your die cutting machine. And there you have that, okay? I'll move that out of the way. This piece can just, that's just a scrap piece. Okay, so now what we want to do is just line that up and just check that that fits on there nicely, which it should do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just adhere it to the cardstock just to stop it moving about. You don't have to if you don't want to, but if you do, you want to use a removable tape. You don't want permanent tape, otherwise it will just rip when you take it off later. And just line that up. And in that way that's just not moving anywhere. Okay. So the inks that I'm going to be using today, I'm going to be using the same, I think, because we know that works. And I did my first take, I did the same colours but a different shape, and it didn't turn out very well at all, so I'm going to stick with what I know. And I'm going to be using Blackberry Bliss, Highland Heather, and then for the centre I should be using Pool Party. So we'll use the Blackberry Bliss first, and that nicely inked up, and then just from one corner, just lightly starting on the copy paper, just go very lightly in the corner. I've got a bit of ink pad on there, but that's fine, that will just eventually go as we carry on. Okay, and then we'll go in the other corner and do the same thing. Again, just starting on the paper first, just to get the excess ink off. And just very lightly. Okay, that will do with that colour for now, and then we'll use the Highland Heather. And this one we're going to come in on these two corners. Again, just starting off on the paper first. And just working that together. Going over the Blackberry Bliss slightly, just to help to blend it. And then we'll use the Pool Party. And because this is quite a light ink, you can just go straight in. I've got okay, and then we'll go back to the Blackberry Bliss. And our Highland Heather, and just carry on blending and colouring until you're happy with the result. And just go over the Pool Party slightly, just to blend that all together. Okay, I think we'll leave that there. Let's close our now we can take off our copy paper. Which then leaves us with a nice square design. Let's get rid of the temporary tape that's on there. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this image, our flower image, in the centre. And you want to use a good black ink so that it stands out. Check that's all nicely coated. And then we'll just position this in our blended square. There we go. Okay, then it just makes it look where you've got the pool party. It just looks like you've coloured that in afterwards. Okay, so that's that done. And this piece that we've used, you can just take off the excess. I'll just quickly clean our stamp. My scrubbing mat needs a clean actually. So once I finish this, I'll give them a good wash. Right. Oh, actually I shouldn't have done that. I've just realised we're still going to need this. So what we're going to do now, we're going to stamp this image on just a piece of copy paper, because we're going to use that to mask over what we've already stamped, so that we can then stamp the foliage around without it going over the flower and making it look a mess. So with that ink again, we'll just stamp it up and just stamp anywhere on this piece of paper. Doesn't matter if it doesn't come out properly. Let's just take the excess of that off. I won't clean that again, I shall do that afterwards. And then what we're going to do is we're going to want to just fussy cut around the flower image. It's quite a simple image, so it shouldn't take too long. You just want to go as close as you can. You don't want to leave too much of a white border, because don't forget, as if you leave it too big a border, then the foliage isn't going to stamp on the background. It's going to stamp on this image, and so it won't. It'll just leave a whole gap then. There we go. Okay, so now we've got that, and this is just going to just go over the image that we've stamped, so that when we stamp the foliage we're not going over our image. So again, I'm just going to use a piece of removable tape, just position that over. Okay, still got some residue from before. There we go. And we're going to use this lovely sprig here. And again, you want to use a good ink, but you can use the same ink. And just position this wherever you like, really. And then just remember to re-ink before you do your next image. That's not come out properly there, but that's alright. I don't think that will show. I am terrible for that. Put a piece there. And just a piece Okay. Yeah, so there's a couple of places where the leaves haven't come out, but you won't even notice that. And so we'll just let that dry a little bit. While we've got the ink out, we're going to stamp our sentiment. And I'm going to use this one here. The good things in life are better with you. Okay, so line that up. Okay, and just stamp that. There we go. Use our scrap piece of copy paper to take the excess off. I'll just give that a quick go. Right, so we're now finished with the stamping. So let's now just remove our mask. And there you go, you'll see then that the foliage doesn't interfere with the flower. Okay, so now I'm going to just colour in the leaves using Stampin' blends, and I'm using Blackberry Bliss Light and just the dark Pool Party. And you just want to pick out some of the leaves. Doesn't matter, you know, there's no right or wrong way. As you could probably hide the fact that some of that ink didn't quite touch. And just randomly, even over where you've inked, because the Stampin' blends just give it a slight different colour. And just randomly colour in the leaves. Okay, and then we'll just go over with Pool Party. There we go. And I think what we'll do, we'll just add a bit of wink of Stella just to bring out the flower. So we'll just put some in the middle. I know wink of Stella doesn't really show on the camera too well, but believe me, you can see that. It really just brings it out. And then I'm just going to use a bit of wink of Stella just on the shaded areas of the flower, just random. And then we'll just do some on the purple of the leaves. There we go. You do just need to be careful actually with the wing Castello because it can sometimes just bleed, so just, I don't know if you can just see that there, just check it doesn't, just went over slightly, so just check that you don't go too mad with it. Right, so now we're going to stick this onto a piece of Blackberry Bliss, which I think just brings it all out. And this measures 3 7/8 by 5.5. This card I actually used rich raspberry. Rich raspberry. I couldn't find my Blackberry Bliss, so it actually looks nice with that too. But yeah, so we'll stick that onto there. Okay. And then this will just stick to the front of your card. And there we go. Okay, very simple but very pretty. And you can actually, well, obviously you can use different colours, just experiment and have a play. But I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, please hit the subscribe button and I shall see you soon. Thank you for watching. Bye.